Okay, here we are. Another recording of Headhunters Northwest podcast. This has been a long time coming. I'm excited to have Jason Colosky of Watchtower Firearms. He is the CEO and I think a very unique CEO in our industry. And I would love to see more of our executives follow this path because I think we need brave men and women in our industry to stand up and be proud. Welcome, Jason. Thanks for coming on here. I know you have a busy schedule, so thank you for this.
Well, Shailene, it's my honor. Thank you for taking the time to have me on, and I'm just glad we can spend a little time together when it's it's not in SHOT Show.
Yeah. So last year at SHOT Show, we met. We had coffee, and it was really neat because you were there and visiting and walking around, and we were talking about this acquisition that you were going to make happen, or there was no one that was going to stand in your way. Because I would say there were several conversations we had when you were frustrated because this thing, when you're acquiring assets, it never happens fast. And when we talked, we met because we were just loosely talking about, hey, could you help me get some board members? And I said, sign me up. How can I help? And look at where we are now. I'm like, I have goosebumps. You did it. You made the acquisition and here you are. So can you believe it?
It's pretty awesome. But actually, we met even before then. So when I was contemplating stepping out of corporate America to get into the firearms industry, I had reached out to you.
Yep.
And you were kind enough to take about an hour of your time to kind of walk me through the good, the bad, and the ugly, which was very informative and kind of started me on a journey of discovery, leaving a major defense company and stepping into the firearms industry. You were a huge help. And so,
really?
Oh my God, thanks. Huge. And so getting to sit down at SHOT Show with you right before we pulled the trigger on this acquisition was really good. I appreciate it.
Oh, it was fun. It's so cool to meet people who say, is this possible? What's it really like in our industry? And then to meet you in person. And now, and I flew to Houston and got a chance to see you there at your site, which is stunning. Absolutely. My husband is very envious that I got to do that. So I might have to do another trip. But yeah, it's really cool to see someone's dreams. Look at this can happen. Other people can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring your husband down. We'd love to. We'd love to.
He might stay there. He might ask if he could be an engineer or something, knowing him.
Well, we're growing, so we got plenty of position.
Great, awesome. So tell us about Watchtower and your vision, because when I visited your office and I asked you about the artwork on your wall and the insignia behind you there and your logo, I would love to have people hear it from you, because this is not just a name you picked out of a book. There's a lot of meaning behind this.
Yeah. So why don't we give the listeners just a touch of my background?
Great. So, thank you.
The logo, the naming convention, and kind of where we're going kind of ties together. So, I grew up in Louisiana, backwater, Moss Bluff. About as far down into the swamp as you can get. Grew up hunting and fishing. It was just kind of a way of life. Didn't really think about it good, bad, or indifferent. It's just what you did when you grew up in small town Louisiana. Ended up joining the Marines, ended up becoming a recon Marine, deployed overseas a number of times, and then ended up in the next swamp phase of my life, which was in Washington, D.C. Worked at the Pentagon for a number of years, leading some of the larger regional offices, and ultimately went to Raytheon, second largest defense company in the world. One of the things along the way, though, I got to a point where somebody asked me, like, what do you like to do? And I said, I love to hunt and fish. And they said, well, where do you go? And it was just kind of this epiphany. I said, well, I really haven't gone anywhere in 25 years.
Oops.
So that was kind of step one of, okay, I need to kind of get back to my roots a little bit. right about the time of that conversation, I had just acquired some property out in West Virginia, started deer hunting and bear hunting and doing some other stuff again. But right about that time, we kind of got to the place where there was just so much woke culture infiltrating into corporate America, just pure silliness. And I'm not a big, I'm not uh, the height of all things, bright and shiny. And I'm very pliable and whatever it takes to get a job done. But I was actually at a point where I was somewhat feeling like a conscientious objector. I just
Mhm.
couldn't do the pretend he she nonsense. I just couldn't do the um, you know again, I grew up in Louisiana scrubbing tarlets in state parks and working on maintenance crews. There
Yeah.
wasn't any privilege. I don't understand. I don't even know how to um, relate to those sentiments.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this, and this is where you enter the picture. And I remember when I was a kid, all the great stuff in the Sears Wish Book or the Bass Pro Shop catalogs at
Oh,
Christmas,
yeah.
and it was just a touch point in my life where it's like I think I want to get involved in the firearms industry. I've sold Tomahawk cruise missiles. I've sold Patriot, missiles. I've done a lot in the major defense world, but so how do I get involved in firearms? So you and I had a conversation, and it was right about then when I started kind of learning, well, most of our American titans don't really exist anymore. They're just European
Right.
conglomerates that are making money off those names. And you can just walk down the list, whether it's Winchester, whether it's Colt, um, whether it's Barrett, whether it's, Remington's been in bankruptcy, God knows how many times. And then you have Sig Sauer pretending to be somehow, some way an American company.
Right.
So this all kind of struck me as incredibly sad, but also from a business standpoint, an enormous opportunity. So what we started doing is looking at how can we build the next great American firearms company. And so started with some investment partners, started looking for a really, really high-end manufacturing facility.
Hmm.
And that led us down to Houston after looking at a number of different places. We acquired what used to be F1 Firearms, and that's one of probably three or four acquisitions we're going to be doing. This is the first one. Um, but Watchtower, so that, I want to kind of give some background leading to
Yeah.
the name. So
Yeah.
everything we do and everything we're going to do is going to be built in America by Americans for Americans. And we're unabashed about it. We're just absolutely, if you want to go buy a Sig Sauer, or you want to go buy something that's made in Japan or South Korea that's pretending to be an American product in the firearms industry of all places, be my guest. But we're looking for people who want to be part of that next great American firearms company. So, like I said, everything we do is steeped in American tradition and history. Watchtower was actually the official code name for the invasion of Guadalcanal. So we're 7,100 American lives were lost. It was the turning point in the Pacific. And I think that's a little bit synonymous with what we're trying to do from a firearms standpoint is we want to be that turning point. We want to be that turning point where people turn back to American products, not because there's a sense of nostalgia, because ours are just simply better. And
Yeah.
they are, and they are. And what, I'm going to stop running my mouth here in a second and let you talk. But
No,
the
you're going
analogy,
down the road I wanted to. I want people to be able to understand what that name means, because when I came to your office and I saw that artwork and that logo and you told that to me, it still gives me goosebumps, because I don't think there's that many companies that have the depth of thought that goes into it with a name. It's not as simple as a name. It's a culture, it's a belief, it's a drive, and it's what people are going to want. They're going to want to flock to there to buy those firearms because they want to support American jobs and American manufacturing.
yeah, I think so. I think there's a wave of that coming in the country. You can kind of, if anybody who's lived through the 70s and 80s, you can kind of see that wave of American manufacturing coming back to the United States, especially all that's going on in the Pacific right now.
Yeah.
Um, but I tell our guys, we're building Dodge Demons and Hellcats and Cobra Mustangs. We're not building Ferraris. We're building something that can go just as fast as a Ferrari, but not cheaper, just more affordable. And I want to be able to put these type of firearms into everybody's hands. I want to reignite the hunting passion that I grew up with as a child, that's kind of lost its way across the country. And so we're looking at doing a number of pretty interesting things with the Outdoors Channel and the Pursuit Channel. Matter of fact, this season, 2 of our brand ambassadors and our chief communications officers on the American Air Gunner Challenge. So you'll be seeing them compete. Yeah, they'll be competing. We actually have commercials that'll be running during the Air Gunner Challenge.
That's great.
So yeah, we have a lot on our plate.
You have a lot of backing, though. Let's talk about some of your board members. You've got some serious people that are committed to, these aren't figureheads. No. None of these people are figureheads. These are active board members contributing. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so we have a great board, all true believers, and all kind of top of their field folks. Alan West, former colonel in the Army, former congressman from Florida, now a fixture here in Texas. The guy's just beloved and just as sharp as a whip. Love working with him. Rich Simcock, former Marine Corps 2-star, who was the Deputy Pacific, Marine Forces Pacific. He's on our board. Keith Webster, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for International Cooperation.
Wow.
We have the former sheriff from Travis County. We have the former, Greg Hamilton, great guy.
Yeah.
And then a host of other folks that are touch on the firearms industry.
But all of them are invested in the success. It's not, what I am impressed with is the team. You are a team builder, and you've built that. You've built a following. Already you've got people supporting you from the highest levels of a board and your executive team, and everybody's going the same direction.
Yeah. Everybody's on the same sheet of music. We're not interested in any DE&I conversations. We're not interested in any of just the general silliness that's going on in the country. We're building that next great American firearm.
Yeah. And the culture there, when I was there visiting, is very powerful, very uplifting, very exciting. I mean, the tour of the manufacturing facility, which I basically know nothing about. I'm a great recruiter. I know nothing about all of that machinery. But the guys that I met there that showed me their work and showed me what they were doing, the pride, I mean, they are really on board and prideful and excited. And you can feel the energy in that whole organization when you walk through the door.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, we're at an inflection point where we've only had the company for coming up on 4 months now. So we've gone very fast, very quickly. When we bought the company, F1 built very high-end, extremely high tolerance ARs. And that's what they were known for, that and some of the flashier colors. We still have all of that, except we've also put out what we call our Type 15, which is probably, I would challenge, I put it up against pretty much anybody in the industry. I would go directly to Wilson Combat, as a matter of fact. It is a sub-MOA AR-15 that is just unbelievable as far as what goes into it. Extremely high tolerances. But we kind of put that as our lead duty rifle, but we're pivoting. Mm-hmm. On the 15th, we'll roll out what is known as the Apache, also named for Operation Apache in Vietnam. And it will be our first double stack 1911.
Wow.
And I tell you what, it will make John Wick want to cry. It is beautiful.
That's great. That's great. Now, if people want to know about these releases, all they have to do is follow you guys on social media, because you have a very active, powerful social media presence.
Yeah, we have a pretty good. It's actually the funnest part of the job. So Ray Cashcare, our chief communications officer, he's a former Navy SEAL. Oh, I didn't mention that. So we've brought in a lot of special operators. Basically, our leadership team is made up of either special operators or defense executives. So we have Marine Corps Scout snipers, we have Navy SEALs, we have Recon Marines, on and on and on. But no, Ray runs all of our social media stuff. Rob O'Neill, the gentleman who took out Osama bin Laden, is one of our brand ambassadors. Nina Rogers, Nina Outdoors,
I saw
huge.
that today or yesterday. Beautiful. You guys are starting a whole social media video with her.
Yeah, we have a whole campaign with Nina. She's getting ready to roll out one of our hog guns. We're gonna roll out a big 5 line. So we're also, in addition to the Apache, which is the double stack 1911, we're also doing bolt action hunting rifles. So that's totally new for us. But we're going in big. We're not coming in with some rinky dink type of offering. It's a fairly substantial part of what we're going to call our big 5 hunting line. So
wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I already have a little list going. I can see I'm going to need a bigger rack here in my office. I have a few tokens of the people that I do appreciate working for. And I do actually take those off and use them occasionally. So,
well, given all of your help, I think we'll probably just wrap one up for Christmas and send it to the direction.
Right. Well, I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from when I went in there, and you've got some special editions that you guys have released, right? Can you talk about those? Are there only 2 of them still?
So each of our ambassadors will roll out their specific rifle. So Rob O'Neill has a very specific Type 15. That's out on the website. Anyone that'd like to buy it, they can purchase it right now.
That's really cool.
Alan West has his own rifle. That was a little bit of a fly by the seat of our pants. He just loves it, and he's very much involved. He and I, we talk quite a bit. Matter of fact, while LSU was losing, Alan was texting me nonstop, just poking me. He's a big Tennessee guy.
Yeah.
But Nick Johnson, who's an amazing trick shooter, he's taking out the Apache.
That's great.
And then Nina will shortly have both a bolt action rifle and a hog gun. And last but not least, we're going to roll out another bolt gun that we're calling the Mountain Sniper Rifle.
Oh, really?
Mark D'Ambrosio is a former Force Recon Scout Sniper. He's going to lead that effort, and it is. I don't think there will be another rifle in the market like it. It will be. We're going to do this something very similar with the Apache. I would match that up against any Atlas. It's much better than a Staccato. It's not even in the same league, frankly. But our price point is at a much better place where Americans can actually buy these guns.
Wow, I'm excited about that.
We're going to do the exact same thing with this precision rifle, sniper rifle, whatever you want to call it. When that rolls out, this is going to be quite the impressive tool. I'm
pretty excited. I happen to be the owner of a couple Nighthawk Customs, which I think are pretty sweet. But now when you're talking about a 1911, I don't know about a double stack for my hand, but that might have to be on the Christmas list for my husband.
Well, we're also coming out with a single stack, so
I like the sounds of that.
We can take care of you either way.
That's great. Now, when people would like to see and touch your products, are you guys going to be attending trade shows and things like that? Because not everyone is in Houston. How can they see, touch, and feel your products?
So we inherited the 247 dealers that F1 originally had. Now we've expanded that. We're almost at 300 dealers. We belong to Nation's Best Sports. So again, a buyer group that pushes into other dealers. We are looking at joining 1 or 2 more. We're at SHOT Show. Previously, F1 had a booth down in the, I forgot what you call it, but the lower levels. We're going to be at SHOT Show this year in Caesars Forum up on the main floor. And
great. On level 2.
Level 2, we got to.
Oh, you're on Caesars Forum.
Correct.
Great. Oh, that's beautiful. That area is gorgeous, and it's all new to us. And Ruger and Davidson's are over there.
They're our next door neighbors.
Oh, that's a great area to be. Lots of traffic. And then do you guys go to other trade shows?
Yeah, so we're expanding in every direction and everything we're
Okay.
doing. So
Wow.
if we're not there now,
You will be.
we will be.
That's great. Well, I know you're been busy making partnerships and increasing good relationships, and I just don't think you can go wrong. They're just such amazing people in our industry, and I'm so glad that you left that other world and you came into this one, because it's pretty special.
That makes two of us.
Pretty special. And if people want to purchase your firearms, the many choices you have, do you guys sell them directly, or do you go only through dealers?
Well, just like any other firearms company, we have to sell through an FFL. So if you want to purchase off of our website, it's very easy.
Okay.
We've worked on reducing clicks, and we've revamped the entire site.
Oh, great.
We're not quite done, but we're getting there. Yeah,
or they could go to their FFL, their dealer, and they could say, I want one of these, figure out how to get me one, because any FFL can call any of the distributors and they can work that out with them.
Absolutely. But if you just go to our website, there's a drop down box. You can pick your
Right.
FFL and ship it. It's very easy.
Fantastic. Sometimes people don't know these things. And I mean, honestly, it is, you'd think everybody does, but not everybody. I mean, I didn't until I got into this industry. And even now, heck, I just sometimes just pick up the phone and go, how do I buy one of these? You know, because there are some things, you know, they're a little bit more difficult to get into the hands of a consumer.
Yeah.
So as you guys grow, do you have some other news you want to kind of close with? Is there anything maybe we didn't cover, or?
No, I mean, I would welcome anyone to check out our website, watchtowerfirearms.com. Please browse through it. We have a lot of stuff coming. When you first come on the website, you have an opportunity to join our tribe. I would encourage people to do that.
I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that when we're off the phone. We're off the video.
I've set up a video to welcome everybody to the tribe, and we're giving some fairly good discounts to people who are part of the tribe that are coming on board. Ooh. So I would encourage people to do that. Come out to SHOT Show, come visit us. Yeah, we're looking to grow, and we're excited about it.
Good. Yeah, that's a great organization. And I would suggest anyone listening to this, if you have not done so, you might want to jump on to their LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your social choice is, because it is pretty entertaining, if nothing else. It's always like, what do they have posted today?
Well, we're kind of if you don't like firearms or hunting or the military or America, then you're really not going to like our commercials.
Yeah. But if you're about the American dream and about American made, you're working on partnering with companies that are also American made, because in our industry, we're famous for all working together to produce one great product. And your focus, I know, has been partnering with other companies and other organizations that are American made.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, good. Well, we're glad you did this and took the jump, Jason. And we're glad that you're building this following and team. And I'm excited to see what comes. Oh gosh, if this has only been 4 months, I can't even imagine the conversation we're going to have again in a year.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Crazy busy people there. They're on a mission. All right. Well, thank you for joining the Headhunters Northwest podcast. And I'm excited because this is not going to be the last podcast we do.
No, it won't be. Thanks, Shailene.
Thank you, Jason. This is it for this session of the Headhunters Northwest podcast. Join us on the next one. Thank you.